After less than 2 years in business, Fonrose The Brand is already one of the most requested costume designers out of Trinidad and Tobago. Her costumes have been prominently displayed in Miami, New York, Bermuda, Barbados, St. Maarten, Guyana, Grenada, Canada, Antigua, St. Kitts, Ibiza, Jamaica, and of course Trinidad and Tobago. In an interview with Dionne Baptiste, Natalie opened up about the transition from civil engineer to full-time costume designer.
It's supposed to be a representation of me, so it's sexy, it's colorful, it's just free, it's just creative without boundaries. It's a brand that has no restrictions, basically.
Natalie on her costume design company, Fonrose The Brand. Her first major design gig was with Fantasy for the 2017-2018 Carnival season. At the time, Natalie says she was contemplating leaving her engineering job to look for another. On advice from her mother, she decided to pause the job hunt and focus solely on design until the completion of the project.
And funny enough, it just spiraled out of control after Fantasy's production, because after Fantasy, I ended up doing other jobs like Barbados and Bermuda. And the more I used and maximized my social media, the more clientele I started to build. And I think that is when it really happened, that I just was like, you know what, I'm not going back.
Even though the transition wasn't as difficult as many tend to believe, she admits that her social life has been hard hit since she became a full-time designer.
I'm no longer messaging to hit you up or to ask you, let's go for dinner, or let's go out on Lime, or these kind of things. And people take these things personally. And it's not necessarily intentional that I'm changing. It's that I have to prioritize my time. And if I do leave home to go out, it's on the basis of either showing my face to remind people that I'm actually still present, or it's on a basis of me dealing with something carnival related. So I would go to events that I know is strong networking is going to be available.
With over 74,000 Instagram followers and a growing clientele with Caesar traveling to places far removed from Trinidad and Tobago, Natalie has managed to do in 18 months what many work years to accomplish. She admits that social media plays a key role in her marketing regime.
So I started to put forward more of my processes while I'm working. I would show. So it's not like a hide and seek kind of thing. When I'm doing things, I'll kind of keep the public engaged. So therefore, I started to draw a different crowd. It wasn't about those who just were looking for style ideas or clothes ideas. It was actually those who were interested in actually hiring me to produce costumes. I started drawing people that actually wanted to get involved in the carnival industry.
Her focus has always been self-actualization and the continued growth and development of her brand. At this stage in the game, Natalie thinks it imperative to work on strengthening the foundation of her company to ensure that it stands the test of time.
I still want to build Fonrose, a name that when my costume drops, they don't even have to see it. They just want to buy it.
She hopes to one day open a production house where she can mentor up-and-coming designers and give them the opportunity to showcase their talent.
At the end of the day, I feel like sometimes people don't necessarily buy your product. They buy you, and they buy your story. So that's why I always try to give the public some kind of insight.
Dionne Baptiste, TTT News.